Hey everyone, I'm Lamont Gilchrist. www.lgfitnessmessiah.com is my webpage. Lamont Gilchrist, Lifetime Natural Pro Bodybuilder. It's my new handle on my YouTube channel. Got a lot of videos, training videos. Go back 2008, 2010. Check them out. Got my Nebraska Cup going. Since we go knock off our next opponent, but that's something else. All right. Today I'm gonna talk about nutrition. A couple of things. I'm gonna explain something real quick. I had someone ask me or say to me yesterday. They messaged me yesterday, and they said in my workout yesterday, it looked as if I was locking out my legs on the machines. What you have to understand is a lockout position of a joint is a bone-on-bone stabilizing position, meaning that you're probably your strongest there bone-on-bone, because the bones are built like that so that when you compress down on the bones, they can hold massive amount of weight. It's not good on ligaments, but the reason why I don't lock out for the majority of the time and stuff like that, when it's not a good thing, is because it takes away from ligament stability, and it takes away from spine curvature from the thoracic to the lumbar to the cervical, well, basically lumbar and thoracic for sure. And it causes muscle atrophy at that joint because of you're not actually engaging the muscle. So it's a lazy position. I always say it to my clients, don't be lazy. I'm gonna stand up and demonstrate it real quick. You ever see somebody and they stand and they lock their knees out? See, mine don't even actually do it. I could pop it like an old school pop, and there's a difference between a pop and a lock. You know, for you breakdancing people gonna know that. But what it really is when you're doing legs or you're doing the thing, it's a pop, pop. I'll pop it because sometimes I over hyperextend it just to make sure that I get the lockout. And it's just like if I was jumping. See, I can jump and not fully lock out my knees because my heels start coming. My heels start coming off the ground. So if you understand the biomechanics of the feet, you don't necessarily have to actually lock out the leg as I'm doing right here, and it looks like it's locking, but it's not locked. I'm actually still got a bend in the leg, and I got a pop. So I actually don't even have a total lockout movement anymore, just because I don't practice it and over and over and over and again. I don't really have a total lockout where I think that I'm bone over bone because I'm so conscious of it. But I'm glad someone paid attention, and I'm glad that y'all understanding the biomechanics and the dynamics of why you don't do these things. Now, they just said they didn't know, they heard you don't supposed to do it, but that's why you don't supposed to do it, because it takes away from, you want all three systems, or really four systems, working at a joint. You want the muscle, you want the bones at the joint, you want the ligament, and you want the tendons working at the joints. Then you got meniscus, bursars, and everything else, but that's, along other lines. But that's a good good observation. But no, I don't lock out, and you shouldn't either. Like I said, you come up and you pop. So it's boom, right back down into engage, boom, right back down to engage. You guys just see my leg. When I lock it, when I pop it, you can actually see the definition of my quads actually go out. And then as soon as I bring it back out and engage, you can actually see the outside sweep, the medial side of my quad sweep, and the lateral and the medial side of my quad sweep. And then you can see the muscle engaged back again at the joint, or me engaging the muscle again. So that's why you don't want to lock it out. All right, I'm going to move on to something else. This is something that I wanted to talk to people about. I hope I didn't go too far into there. Apple, grapefruit, and a bar, peanut butter bar. And I ain't gonna say I don't really endorse certain brands. If you read the brand, then you know what the brand is. And I mean, it's not too bad. It has, and what I mean by bad, let me rephrase that for people start jumping about it. And I'm not even talking about the calories. I look at the protein, I look at the sugar. It has dietary fiber, it has 7 grams of sugar. And I might eat these all night. And then I have this drink right here, my own concoction that I make. People who always come to me and be like, I want to lose body fat and I want to gain lean muscle. And so it's like, so how do I do that? And I was like, yo, it can be done. It's very tricky. And a lot of times it's the weight sustaining itself and going up gradually, just depending on how much glycogen storage you have, how much you're flat, how much you're full. If you totally fill out when you're full, muscle definition, you can start seeing a little bit of vascularity. Those different things are key. Scale weight-wise isn't really a good indicator. Once again, just for obvious reasons that I stated in my other videos, but we talk about being lean. I show those things because people always come to me with these ideologies and things and stuff like that because they've heard from people, and because once again, it's sad, but everybody, excuse me, everybody likes to resort to these no-brainer cookie-cutter ideals about nutrition and dieting and what's good for someone's body and everything else like that. If you are an animal and you're lifting to gain muscle, meaning that you're putting X amount of resistance on your body, somewhere in the upward of 80 to 85% max, 6 to 8 reps, breaking up the muscle groups pretty fairly, spreading them out so you're stimulating growth through all the muscle groups and stuff like that, and you're an animal and you're getting after it. You can do that without just getting fat or without just dieting. And I mean, there's a difference between gaining weight and gaining muscle. Those principles right there of your training regimen opens your window of anabolic properties, of fat burning properties, of muscle building properties way larger than someone who's just doing cardiovascular pounding, whatever, which their window is open. Science has proven it, and I said this for years. Even though you're doing cardio, people say when you stop cardio, it didn't work. Well, I mean, everyone knows that that's not necessarily true because it's making your body efficient, but it gives you a longer window of anabolic properties, fat burning properties, and other things and stuff like that. It's just different. It gives you more of a window of a fat burning property, antibiotic property, as opposed to if you stress it out from what I call muscle conditioning training to get stronger, / almost power training, sports muscle specific training, where you're going 6 to 8 within 82 to right around about 88, 90% of your max for 6 to 8. The last 2 reps are usually hard to get on your last sets, and you push yourself like that. You have created a new environment for your body, so you've opened up your window. And the things that I just showed you, this apple, this grapefruit, and this sugar with peanut butter and a mixture, along with my anabolic drink, which has protein, some other things in it, and some things for joint health that I mix up that you may see me see all day. I eat these all night. I wake up, I'll eat one of these, I'll grab this, I'll eat a bar majority of the night. Sometimes I ain't even lie, sometimes I eat 4 bars. I'll sip on this. And then people will say, well, you gain fat when you sleep. No, you don't gain fat when you sleep. You gain fat when you lazy and you don't work out and you don't put your body into the proper chemical reactions, and you eat, and then you have an excess of certain chemical spikes going on inside your body. Calories, as y'all would like to say, but not necessarily calories, because you can eat all green things and still won't have the same principle. But still, so then you get an excess certain calories going on inside your body, and you didn't put in the work, and you didn't create an environment that's going to be anabolic towards muscle growth. You created an environment that's going to be anabolic towards fat storage. You have to understand you're going to be anabolic. If you're eating, you're going to be anabolic. Now, you can use this anabolic principle, and I carb up at night. I tell you how I know this work, and anybody that's ever bodybuilt will know what I'm talking about. If you stay in control and on top of your eating and your training and everything else, and you're getting ready for a show, let's say you go and you get ready to go to sleep and you got a show the next morning. Anybody that's a good bodybuilder or fitness or anybody else, what do you do all night? Me, I set the clock or I stay up all night, and top level bodybuilders stay up all night and they carb up so that they can look good and so that they can be ready for the next day. And that's the same principle as far as like carving up to gain muscle so that you can work hard the next day. You're not going to put on body fat. I've actually lost body fat because I could actually see my lower abs coming in. I could see more definition. I stay fairly lean. I won't venture and put out a number as far as percent body fat, but I've always been fairly lean. But I could tell when I'm in better shape, and I could tell you when I wake up in the morning, if you see me, when I hit these things right here and I squeeze my arms, I can see vascularity letting me know that glycogen is going through the system, water is being sucked in. When I'm not full or carved up, then there's not so much vascularity going on. So don't be scared if you work your tail off and you're trying to gain muscle to use your whole clock. You know, people are so, I just don't understand it. In theory, the best way to get bigger faster is to use 24 hours of every day and eat every so often throughout the whole day and night, and you will grow because you will stay anabolic more. When you are sleeping, you are in a catabolic situation. So even if you are trying to get big and gain muscle and lose body fat, your body is going to be burning a process of dietary fiber, fats, and other things while you're sleeping because it's going to be eating off of a fuel source. If it wasn't, you would be dead. Your heart wouldn't be beating, your metabolism wouldn't be going. So it's a flawed theory when people say don't eat after this time or don't eat after that time. And it's not a flawed theory. Let me back it up. It is, and it's not a flawed theory. Yeah, it may be good for someone who gorges at 8 o'clock and they're obese and they have health problems. Yeah, it may be a good mechanism and a good thing to cut them off at night to teach them structure. Not because you're trying to make them not eat, not because they shouldn't eat. It is to teach them structure. If I take something away, it's not to deprive you, even though your interpretation and it interprets for people, it's easier to say, stop eating at 6. It interprets that after 6 it's bad to eat. But that's what the interpretation someone may gain from it. No, what it means is that you continue to eat and you ain't doing nothing. You didn't do nothing all day. You didn't create the situation. So you're just dumping in extra calories that you're going to actually be laying on when your body isn't kicked up. So you're not laying on these calories if you work hard because your body's already been revved up. You rev the engine up and it's still running. And it still needs nutrition. It's trying to repair ligaments, tissues, everything. All these different other things are going on in your body. And you want to create an anabolic environment. When I work hard, I try to create an anabolic environment. I try not to create catabolic environments too often because it is the opposite of what I want from my body, from production, from healing, from gains, no matter how minute they are. And so I can see it, I eat these things all night. And I can see it. I can go from, in a matter of a couple months, a couple weeks time to a month or something, I can go from contest shape to on stage shape in 4 weeks, 3 weeks, because I stay at a striking point and I could just manipulate what I got going on and still, pretty much stay on point as far as being in contest shape. Then I would just have to take water out, mess with my sodium, potassium, and all these other different things. So If you are a hard trainer and you say, I want to lose body fat but gain muscle, and you're training like that and your training regimen is going really hard, don't be afraid to use the nighttime or past 6 o'clock or past 8 o'clock or past 9 o'clock. I mean, people just throw these numbers out here. I mean, can you pass 8? Can you pass 9? Can you pass 5? Can you pass 6? And I said, what's the logic in that, you know? And so you have to understand what it is that you're saying when you say these things. But if you are creating these environments, and I do stress, if you're creating these environments by working hard already, putting in the work, watching what you eat during the day, it's just like getting ready for a show every night. You get to carb up, you get to prepare your body to be ready to go hard the next day. And it's not like you're taking a photo shoot. It's not like you're going to be on the stage the very next day. So if you go over and you get a little bit more fuller than normal or whatever, then you could just go harder because you got a better energy source. But you're not on the back end of always suffering overnight or suffering and coming into your day depleted and tearing into your body. You're going to get injured doing that, and you're going to be depleted, and you're going to lose valuable time in gains. I'd rather have more time in gains, meaning that I have more time to be anabolic and to get gains, necessarily get bigger, stronger, or whatever else, or more efficient as I age or at any point in your life, than to be overly cautious and on the back end, especially if I train hard. I stress, if I train hard and be on the back end and then don't have those things available at night or when you need them to make those gains because your body's ready to make that next step and make those recoveries and take you to that next level. So be smart about your nutrition and be smart about your thought process about how you do your nutrition. Once again, you never really see me promote certain brands. The bar, I might eat 3 or 4 of these a night, man. I just find myself peanuts, and I wake up peanuts everywhere. Definitely apple because I'm trying to replace my liver glucose, glycogen level. Fructose is spikes, it goes up, but it's stabilized out. It goes right back down to normal. There's a quick spike right here, dietary fiber, grapefruit, kind of along those same principles. And sometimes, so I might throw in something that actually has a little bit more sugar in it, just for the simple fact that I know that my body's going to absorb it, and I'll see the effects up to the next day. This is a drink that I mix up. It has a little protein, has some other things in it to make me stay anabolic for joint health. It has a little L-glutamine in it for hormone release towards GH factors and stuff like that. And you always see me sipping on it because this is my anabolic situation. No matter if I'm missing meals, I still stay anabolic by sipping on this all day. All right, I hope that helps. Maximize your gains, people. Seems like I've been talking about for an hour. So once again, my name is Lamont Gilchrist. www.lgfitnessmessiah.com is my webpage. Lamont Gilchrist, lifetime pro natural bodybuilder. Proud, not really proud, but it's an accomplishment because when you're doing this bodybuilding game and you've been going so long, you get a lot of different invitations to do a lot of different things that everyone may assume that you're doing already or whatever, to see if you could take it to the next level. So, I wouldn't do natural contests, which I just don't do natural contests. I won Nebraska NPC, I won Wild Kitchen NPC, won Kansas City NPC. I do NPC shows where they actually take drugs because I'm not afraid to compete. I'm not afraid if I feel like I got the best package and you doing something. I don't care what you're doing. If I feel like I'm the best and I feel like got better, I have a better understanding of my body situation, and I know I can pose because that's what I do. I practice these things. I know how to present my body. I'll go up against anybody. You know what I'm saying? If I lose, I lose. I just learn from my losses, and I usually don't lose because I come in prepared. All I can do is control what it is that I do. So when I say natural pro bodybuilder, I'm not knocking anybody that bodybuilder that do their own thing, because I have respect for all athletes, no matter what it is that you choose to do to get ready or how you perform. But I say natural pro bodybuilder because you got to make tough decisions about how you're going to live your life and about how you're going to conduct your body and grow your body. And sometimes for you young people, and I'm rambling on, let muscle maturity and let bodybuilding come to you. I've always recommended this to young people and people I see who are young bodybuilders. I say, do not destroy your body. I've seen so many bodybuilders destroy their bodies chasing mass when they're never going to be a massive guy anyway. And even if it is, their lines are so far apart, their symmetry is so off and everything else. When they started with a good frame and good symmetry and they were winning shows and doing good because that was their strength. Just know what your strengths are. Not everybody's meant to be huge and big. You know, bodybuilding is an illusion. Looking good is an illusion. Ask anybody that photoshopped them pictures all the time, that smooth out the face and everything else, and you see them in person. Just joking. Have a good day. Yep.